Hello, guys. Today is Thursday, January 13th, and we are going to continue working on refraction today. You started refraction activities yesterday, and you should have done 4 experiments. 3 of them you had to, observe, and then the other one you got your hands on some prisms and got to check those out. And you should have took light facts 9 through 11 in your science notebook. So before I go over what you're doing today, if you did not take light facts 9 through 11, please pause the video and go back and make sure your light facts are updated. Okay, so light facts 9 through 11, excuse me. 9 is refraction, the definition of refraction. So refraction means light is bending. So reflection, if you remember 7 and 8, that means light is bouncing back to us. But refraction is light is bending. So light bends when it goes from one state of matter to another state of matter. For example, here the light was in the air, right? It's traveling through the air. Once it hits the water, it then changes to water. So it's going from a gas to a liquid. When this happens, the speed of light actually slows down, and that's what causes it to bend. So you remember yesterday you did an experiment with a pencil in water, and it looked like the pencil got larger, and it looked like it was kind of, maybe not as dramatic as these straws here, but it looked like it was unattached below the surface of water, and that was because of refraction. So refraction is when light bends, and that happens when light goes from one state of matter to another. So remember, there are 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, gas. So if the light's going from a gas to a liquid, it will bend. If it's going from a gas to a solid, like the prisms, it will bend. And the reason that happens is because it slows down, it changes speed. So then light fact 10, talking about prisms, white light is the light coming out of the light bulb. It contains all the colors. If we were to put it through a prism, the light will bend because it's going from gas, it's in the air, to solid, it's in a prism. So when it changes matter, it bends and gives us the rainbow. Roy G. Biv. So a prism bends or refracts white light and separates them into the different colors of light. So you do not have to draw the picture, but you do need to know the order of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So you might also know it as Roy G. Biv. And then 11, you did get to check out some magnifying glasses yesterday, but 11 is also about refraction. A magnifying glass or a magnifying lens bends or refracts light to focus in on a single point. So we have our eye here, and we're looking at this itty bitty ant. But if we put a magnifying glass in front of the ant, it actually looks larger to us because it bends the light rays, so it appears larger. So the actual object's really tiny, but the image we see is really large. And if you wear glasses, they work the same way. Your glasses have a different prescription, and your glasses lens, it has different thicknesses. And because of that, it bends the light and allows us to focus in and able to see. So all because of refraction, for those of us, myself included, are able to see. Without it, I would not be able to see very well. Even if you don't wear glasses, your eyes are actually refracting the light in order for us to focus in. So those 3 light facts are the ones that you should have wrote yesterday. So it's important that you have those down because you're going to use those today when you do the elab. So let's go back to the Google Classroom. You currently are watching the instructions on how to complete the elab, which I'm about to go over. You are then going to complete the bending light simulation elab and turn it into the front basket, depending on what homeroom you're in. So make sure you turn it into your correct homeroom. You then are going to watch the Bill Nye Light and Color Ed Puzzle, because we're going to, last two things about light are color and heat. So we're going to jump onto those two. A few of you asked me to reset your Ed Puzzle. Please make sure that you are paying attention. The Ed Puzzles give you the answers automatically, so I do not reset those. Make sure you're paying attention. Remember, you can rewatch the video if you don't know the answer. Normally, the question, the answer to it is right before the question actually happened. So if you're like, oh, wait a minute, I missed that, the little rewatch button, press that and rewatch the video before you answer. Then you need to finish your science safety study island. A lot of you have that finished. So if you have that finished, you can begin the scientific tools and measurement one. Okay, so that's what you need to do today. The bending light simulation. Let's go ahead and look at that. You will have this paper in front of you. And this is what you will be filling in and following along as you complete it. So the directions are right on the top. Please make sure you put your name on it. So that way when I grade it, I can give you credit. So it says click onto the bending light. So in Google Classroom, the bending light website is right here. You're going to go ahead and click on it. I already have it open. Let me bring that over here. Then it says select the intro tab. We're going to pick intro. Push the bottom right click on reset all. So in the bottom right here, here's the reset button. You're going to reset it all. So it should just look like this. You can see that on top is air, on bottom is water right now. At the top, select laser view ray. It should already be done for you, but double check that it's a ray. Push the button on the laser pointer to get a beam of light. So I don't want you moving the laser pointer. It doesn't want you to move it around. It just wants you to press the button. When you press the button, you see that the red laser goes down, and then what happens to it when it goes from air to water? Right, it bends or refracts. But what also, so it bends and goes down, but what also happens to it? When you look into clear water, what else do you see? Yeah, your reflection. You can see your reflection. So, when you turn the laser pointer on, you can see that the light ray is bending here, but it's also reflecting. So it wants you to draw what happens to the light ray when it travels from air to water. So let me see if I can draw my picture here. I'm going to draw, this might be hard. Well, here's my flashlight. Or I should say my laser pointer, it's not a flashlight. And then you are going to draw what happens when it goes from air to water. So when it goes through air, it's a straight line. But then when it hit water, what happens? It bends just slightly, right? So you're going to bend it just slightly and have it go down. Now, if you would like to draw your reflection, because there's also a reflection, I'm going to do it in a different color because I want to show that it's the reflection line. You may also draw your reflection line. But I am looking for you to draw what happened to the light ray when it went from air to water. So we just did number 6 together. So if you wanted to pause the video and go ahead and draw number 6, you may do so. Okay, so then number 7 says, draw what happens to the light ray when above and below are both water. So now you're going to go over here and change it when they're both water. And you're going to draw what happens to the light ray. So you're going to go through each one. It says draw what happens when they're both air. Then number 9, change the top material to air and the bottom to mystery A. So you can see there are different things. They want you to change the bottom to mystery A and the top to, what did it say? Air. Draw what happens to the light ray. So you're going to draw here in this box. If it's air on top, mystery A on bottom, what does it look like? Just like we did on 6. But now they ask you a question. Do you think mystery A could be air? Why or why not? So look back to what happened when it was air. Do you think it could be air? Why or why not? Make sure you're answering both parts of the question. That's a multi-part question there. Then on 10, it says, draw what happens when the light ray travels from mystery A into mystery B. So mystery A to mystery B, but then it wants you to measure the angle. So to measure the angle, let me change it back to water. Oops, air and water. So it wants you to do mystery A to mystery B, but I'm not going to do that because then that would give you the answer. So to find the angle, you're going to take your protractor out and you're going to line up this line to the dotted line. And if I'm looking at the angle of reflection, I'm not going to care about the angle bending down here right now. The angle of reflection, so this light ray here, we have 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So it's counting by, each longer dash is by 5s, and then you can see they're individually dashed there, but they're very small. So if I asked for what angle of reflection is, you would say, well, there's 30, 35, 40, 45. So I would say it's about 45-degree angle. Now, you would just put that on that line. So if you said 46 and it was actually 45, I would still give you credit. I'm not going to be nitpicky. If you're within 5, I will take it. But you need to make sure that your little black line here is lined up and the top of the protractor is lined up to where those meet, and you will be able to get the angle it's at. Then the final question asks, what did you learn today? So I'm looking, what did you learn about reflection and refraction? Those two different vocabulary words. Reflection and refraction. I'm looking for you to use both of those vocabulary words. When you are done with this, you need to turn it into the basket. At the bottom, it says that you can go back and play around with the prisms. If you would like to come down here and play with the prisms a little bit, you may. Put the prism in there and shine the light. You can turn the prism. You can make it white light. There we go. And you can see that there's a little rainbow going on. But I don't want you to spend too much time on that because then you do need to get done with your Bill Nye Ed puzzle video. Okay, guys, make sure that you take your time on your lab simulation and turn it in when you are done. Have a good day.